Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to Demo Day. We are going to get started here. I'm going to welcome everyone who's coming over with food. My name is Stephen Rue. I am the Director of Marketing here at Awesome Inc. U. So I get to have the pleasure of seeing people as they come into the boot camp and then also today as they finish up. It's a pretty fun journey to watch. Appreciate you all coming to join us as well and see these fun projects. So we will be getting started in just a second. Here is a little rundown of what our day is going to look like. So hopefully you grab some food over there, and we are going to do some quick introductions of our team and our boot campers, and then we will be showing you their projects. We'll have some quick demos, and then after they finish up with their quick presentations, they're going to be over there showing you close up what their demos look like at the tables just down there. So in just a little bit, we'll have them up here. But first, I want to take a look at what this boot camp actually is. So a lot of you in the crowd here are pretty familiar with it. You either went through it or are a friend or family member of somebody who's been doing this. So you might know, but there's a lot of numbers up here. There were 13 students presenting. They've been with us for the last 16 weeks doing this every single day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's basically been their life. And so we are really excited of what they've accomplished, but all these numbers up here, all of the hours of training, all of the Slack messages sent, all of the many Oreos that they've eaten, all add up to this really great accomplishment. So we are just looking at these numbers as a representation of something really exciting that they've gotten to do. So that is why we're here. We couldn't do it, though, without a really great team to help support these boot campers that you're about to see. So I want to bring up our team members who helped to make this happen. We've got some instructors, we've got some designers, we've got everybody. So come on up here, Jason and Reese, Jacqueline. Ember, Mackenzie. So these are the people who really helped to make this program happen with our boot campers. So we've got Jason and Reese, our instructors, Jason, our lead instructor, and then Reese, our best dressed instructor. We've got Mackenzie, the director of our program. Jacqueline helped to make these designs look great. So anything that you see that looks pretty on this page, Jacqueline probably had a hand in helping them style that. And then Ember was our morning warm-ups coach. So every day they start off with some coding challenges, and Ember was the one to help them with that and make that happen. And yeah, we just really wanted to say thank you all. And so we actually have some gifts for our instructors as well that we want to hand out here. Yeah, we won't make you read all of the nice things that they said, but we just wanted to say thank you all so much. And Mackenzie, if you wanted to come up, I think we have one more gift too.
Yep. So some of the most important part of this community is the community that sticks around longer than ever. So if you are a boot camp graduate, can you raise your hand? Yeah. Look at that. And we know that the best way to kind of put forward like the thank you for that is to, once you're in these chairs, recommend someone to go be in that hallway. And so we have a gift for Alex Galvin, one of our alum, who recommended one of our students who's graduating today. Here you go. This is for you.
Yeah, the word of mouth that helps bring people into this program means so much to us. So it's always really exciting when someone finishes the program who was a friend of someone else and creates a nice little chain. So really quickly, I'm going to have Jason come up here and tell you a little bit about what these boot campers have just gone through over the last 16 weeks. So Jason, take it away.
Hey, I am Jason Mize. It's good to meet you all. I went through the boot camp 8 years ago, which is fantastic. Worked a whole bunch of different places, started a company, Stellar Tech Works, where I'm the CEO. We build things. If you need something built, reach out to me. And they hired me to teach this boot camp, which was such a privilege. I tell you, these people have really, really worked hard. The boot camp, it started It's in 4 major sections. The first 4 weeks were the onboarding. Those are part-time. It's largely laying the groundwork for HTML, CSS, kind of some basic JavaScript kind of things. Then we moved into the full-time part. And by full-time, like Steven undersold that. It's not just 8 to 5. It's 8 to 5, 8 to 7, 8 to 6. They were here late. They worked, obviously, in the evenings. They worked on the weekends. They really put their hearts and souls into it. It's a major endeavor. The in-person part's broken in 3 parts: the front end, the back end, and the finish line. The front end, largely learning how to build like React, JavaScript. It's the part that is visually available to the end user. Second part, back end development. That's like database. We did Python, we did Django. That's where you like store the user's information, store all the business logic that happens, and kind of manage things. And then in the final section, you put all that together, and you get the 2 parts talking to each other. And also in the final section, they built their capstone projects, which is what you all are going to be seeing today. They didn't just build their capstone projects, though, through the course of this camp. They did so much other work. They did, with Ember in the mornings, they did 72, I think was the final count, coding challenges where they would come in, have a hard problem to solve, figure out how to solve it. They built over 16 projects. I actually lost count at some point. At least 1 a week, usually 2 a week, where they would practice the concepts that they were currently trying to wrap their heads around. Some of the really like fancy ones that they built to-do apps, restaurant apps, card games, bike shops. They built a social media chat room. They built their capstones. I tell you, I have been so very impressed with these 13 individuals. They've got marked determination. They showed up, and they did the thing you're supposed to do, which is show up and give your all. They did work. They pushed the pace. They needed me to deliver more information because they were so intent on learning everything I could give them. Yeah, they've got an amazing commitment. I think that I would wholeheartedly recommend any one of them, if you're looking to hire somebody, for a team. They would make a fantastic team. And I tell you, if you're part of their friends and family, you should be really, really proud of them. As a matter of fact, just give them a hand.
Thanks, Jason. So you just got a rundown of what you're about to see, but to take a quick look at it, we're about to do really quick pitches. What you're about to see is just a snippet of what they've been working on. The real meat and potatoes of their projects is going to be at the demo tables afterwards, but they're going to present to you in just 2-minute quick pitches, a little glimpse, and then afterwards stick around and go and mingle and see up close what they've had to present. So without further ado, this is our order of presenters, and I'm going to pass it on to our first presenter, Nathan.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor to get to kick this thing off. My name's Nathan Wilson. And I'm a former cheerleader, cheer coach, missionary, and most recently, before the boot camp, I was a server at Skyline Chili. And while I was doing that, I was teaching myself front-end web development. I've worked on a variety of different projects. I've done a little bit of freelancing, but I wanted to make this my full-time career and become a full-stack web developer, and that's why I chose to do the Awesome Inc. Bootcamp. Have you all ever thought, man, I wish that the educational system or my parents taught me more about money skills when I was a kid? I know that I have heard that time and time again. I've thought it myself, and that's the inspiration behind my final project, Kid Capital. And Kid Capital allows children to have as much financial control as possible to teach them money skills from a young age. Children and parents in this app can create responsibilities for their children that have difficulty points attached to them. And at the end of an allowance period, the kids are rewarded financially for the amount of difficulty points they achieved. They can then spend that money at the family store, and they can also spend that money in financial accounts, both saving and investment accounts, that their parents can create for them. And the standout features of my app are a robust date management system, a custom-coded calendar, and it's also completely mobile responsive. I will just show you the parent perspective of the app. There's a complete children perspective that you'd have to come to my table to see. But this is the parent dashboard. This is where they can see on the left, unfulfilled purchases. In the middle, they can see responsibilities that they have to approve for it to count towards their children's allowances, and also upcoming responsibilities. This is the family management tab, where they can see different statistics about their family, including responsibilities, the amount of responsibilities they've completed, the total difficulty points they've completed in the last allowance period, and their total money. And this is the responsibilities tab, where you can create the responsibilities. And this is the modal that allows you to do so. It also includes repeating responsibilities, both monthly and yearly. This is the finances tab from the parent's perspective, where they can change how much money their kids receive per difficulty point, also how often the kids receive their paycheck or how often it cashes out. And also they can create the savings accounts with set interest rates and investment accounts with potential gains and losses. And this is the family store from the parent's perspective. They can approve items that the kids want to be on the store, and the kids can purchase items through this. But my name is Nathan Wilson once again. This was Kid Capital. You all can get your phones out and add me on LinkedIn if you want to, or we can connect at my table. But thank you all so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Owen Coombs, and prior to the boot camp, I ran multiple successful e-commerce stores. I have a passion for business and technology. I also love to design and create things. And once I heard about Awesome Inc. in the boot camp, I saw that as an opportunity to combine my passion for business and tech and to hopefully get a job that ties all that in with the creative aspect. My final project, I created an app called Court Connect. Court Connect is an app that helps users locate local courts and active players for that court. So a user can come to this screen, they can set themselves as active as that court. It'll show the active users. There's also a search function to where it'll filter by name, location, and amenities. There's also, for each court, there is a section for reviews. I have also integrated a social media aspect to the app. A user can create a profile, upload a post, and then other users will then see that post in their live feed. And everything in this project is mobile first, mobile responsive. And that is my app, Court Connect. Again, my name is Owen Coombs. Here you'll see my LinkedIn QR code. Scan that to connect with me, or you can see me at my table. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Henry Knolenberg. Before the boot camp, I did many things. I worked as a construction worker. I did retail. I did data entry. And most recently, I was an English instructor over at UK. Alongside those professions, I've also been an aspiring filmmaker, a painter, a musician, and most prominently a writer. But anything art-related or anything that involves creativity, like I'm very much interested in it. And this is sort of why I joined the boot camp. Thinking about those professions that I worked, there wasn't a whole lot offered in the way of creativity. And if there was, like say for the teaching position, there wasn't offered a lot in the way of financial stability. And so this is what I'm sort of searching for in a job is something that fuels my creative spirit, but also pays the bills, allows me to eat. And coding seemed like a great opportunity for that. For my capstone project, I created an app that both featured the arts as well as merged the local community with the local business, specifically the independent movie theater. The app is called Cinema Social. It allows an independent theater to make posts, display show times, concessions menus, upcoming films, events, and even host polling or polls. Thinking about, or cinephiles across the country, like I'd say, if you're not living in New York or Los Angeles, know what it's like to want to see a film only to find out that the most recent, or the closest place you can see it is hundreds of miles away. Polling would allow local theaters to gauge local interest in films, but also give a voice to these local moviegoing, to the local moviegoing community, alleviating sort of some of that stress. Another aspect is discussion threads. These discussions relating to the movies that are being shown at the films will fuel the communal aspect of film, but also it ties that experience to the local theater. Strengthening that business-patron relationship. Cinema Social sort of bridges that gap. Again, my name is Henry Knolenberg. My project is Cinema Social. Come see it at my booth.
All right, well, good afternoon. My name is Duke McClellan. Thank you all so much for being here. Previous to joining the boot camp, I worked in various roles in sales and insurance, and was also a traveling musician. I decided to join the boot camp after hearing about it from a few friends as well who did the camp. And after looking into it, I decided that I wanted to join and become a developer for a few reasons. I wanted to have a creative element in my work in a professional setting. To learn a valuable skill in an industry that's continuing to grow and evolve, to have the ability to have increased flexibility for my family, and to be able to provide more for them. But my project is called the Course Caddy. As I was thinking about what I wanted to build, I knew that I wanted to be in relation to a hobby, and one of those hobbies is golf. And so I wanted to create an app that was built around something that I could use or any golfer could use, and they're around to kind of take on the go. And this will kind of fill the needs for a few different things. It will allow the users to update their score as they progress through the round. Provides a more detailed view of hole-by-hole scores so they can kind of access that information quickly. And it will also keep a history of previous rounds scored, just so that way they can kind of see their progress over time. I do have plans to continue to iterate on this by adding club recommendations, distances to the hole, and to be able to provide some additional benefits that users can have to be able to lower their scores. But again, my name is Duke McClellan. This is the Course Caddy, and come see me at my booth. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Anderson. Thank you all for coming today. I came into this boot camp with a background in engineering. I graduated 2 years ago with a mechanical engineering degree. Worked in that field last year, but realized I didn't really like it that much. But one aspect of it I did really like was coding and programming. When I had the chance to do that, I found it to be really stimulating and engaging. So I thought, why not make that my full-time career? It's something I like a lot. My project is called Coaster Track. I was inspired to make it because I'm a big roller coaster enthusiast, which is one of the reasons I got into engineering initially. And I've always thought it'd be cool to have a way to track all of the amusement parks that I've visited, all the roller coasters I've ridden. So I built an app to do that. You can browse for amusement parks anywhere in the world and check off roller coasters you've ridden there, and the app will keep track of each individual one you've ridden as well as your total count. There's also a social aspect to it. You can add friends and message them. You can also create groups if you want to discuss a specific thing. You can plan get-togethers with your group. And then there's also a discussion forum where anyone can, post about any roller coaster related topic, and a gallery where people can post any pictures they've taken on their trips. So that's Coaster Track. If you want to learn more about it, please come visit me at my booth. Again, my name is Ryan Anderson. Thank you all for your time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. My name's Cody Miller. prior to being in this boot camp, I was in banking, and I left banking to come to this boot camp for a number of different reasons. If I had to think about how I would describe myself, I would say that I am a family man and a humanitarian. If you don't find me soaking up every last minute enjoying my son and his cute little voice, then you'll find me volunteering locally or distributing aid internationally. Something that web development offers is the luxury to work anywhere from in the world, and it affords me the ability to do what I love. Okay? So at the very beginning of this boot camp, we were asked, what is our why? You know, what is our inner motivation? And I can honestly tell you that my son is my why, okay? So I thought it would only be fitting to fashion my final project with him in mind. So The Little Prince is a story that I love to read to him, and it's also the theme of his nursery. Okay. My ideal user would be someone who wants to get in touch with their inner child, someone who wants to experience wonder and whimsy again, someone who needs to be reassured that the internet doesn't always have to be about commerce and marketing, but that it can be reprieve and relief. As a user goes through my project, they can learn a little bit more about the story if they're not already familiar, or they could do that by going through the About page, but they can also experience a unique and heartwarming registration process. Once the user is logged in, they can experience a whole thematic universe where they can play games, achieve objectives, and they can also unlock planets. Okay. So at this point, you're probably wondering, what games did I make? Well, you guys will have to come to my table to find out. Okay. Again, my name is Cody Miller, and my project was called The Little Prince Returns.
Good afternoon. My name is Owen McDonald. I previously worked in tech support and quality assurance, and I did some programming there, but I really wanted to expand my horizon and my ability to do so, and so thankfully I joined this brilliant cohort. I stepped down from a council position. Actually, I served the term. I was an inaugural council, chapters council, so we didn't have a voting system in place. As a result, we tried to set up a voting system that had non-repudiation. It was important they had basically a way to track to see that the votes had been made. They needed to be unique votes, so there was no double votes, and then also needed to be anonymous, so that people didn't feel picked upon. And there really wasn't anything available out there online. We ended up having to find a back-end way to do it. So I present priority polls. Essentially, priority polls gives you the ability to create a group, so you can search for group members, and you can add them to your polling group. You can, as the author, you can close enrollment or close the actual polling status. We'll direct your users to either to the polling or to the results page. And this will be automated in the future, perhaps on a certain time, or allow you to run the same polls again and again, for instance, if you were doing the daily lunch run. Okay. So, yep, there's the polling groups. Let's see here. Now, the way that ranked choice will work is that there are several rounds of voting. So this will be detailed in the graphs that are responsive, and it should allow people more comfort, perhaps, with the process of ranked choice voting, or just, for something simple, like, again, choosing lunch. Again, it was a brilliant time here at Awesome Inc., and I thank each and every one of my instructors. And if you would like, I have a poll set up currently for the most sought after skills. So any employers here, please feel free to come by my booth and check that out. And we will have some awesome data at the end. Thank you so much for your time.
Hello. My name is Jacinta Helm, and before the boot camp, I was an early childhood teacher at the Child Development Center in Fort Knox. I decided to change careers because although I loved and enjoyed every minute of work at the center, I felt that a part of me wasn't being fulfilled. After extensive research, I discovered that software development is similar to a giant puzzle, something that is up my alley. It stimulates my brain, and it gives a challenge to work, and fun. With luck, I found Awesome Inc., and here I am. For my final project, I decided to make a travel app. Traveling is one of my love languages, and I love experiencing new cultures, new experiences, and new foods. So if you are a traveler and would like to keep track of your upcoming trips as well as needing a visual reminder, then this is for you. I developed a travel planning web application where users can sign in, create trips, view upcoming and completed trips, and as well as adding friends to those upcoming trips. I was able to improve my skills with React and Django, gaining more experience with the two and understanding how they both collaborate with one another. Moving forward, I plan on creating a message thread where you and your friends can chat before and during your trip, sending messages and images. And overall, this was a very fun app, and I cannot wait to do more with this. Thank you. My name is Jacinta Helm, and this is Pack Your Bags. Come by my table.
Hello, my name is Jay Miller. Before the boot camp, I worked many intensive labor jobs. I enrolled in the boot camp because I wanted to do something more creative, and I've always loved technology. Since hearing about this boot camp, I have been excited to begin a new career that will bring me more opportunities. My inspiration for this project came from my love of dogs, and I wanted to make something that could have a real-world use. The intended audience would be vets, breeders, and a veterinary clinic could use this website to sell dogs. While a regular person could get on, create an account, and send a message to whoever made that specific listing. In this process, I learned how real websites work and function, as well as learning how to set up and manipulate data to get the responses I desire. After demo day, I'm excited to get back to work on my app to add individual profile views and allow users to follow each other. Again, my name is Jay Miller. My project name is Doglist. Below is my contact information. Feel free to reach out through any of my contacts. I can't wait for you to come check out my app.
Well, hey everybody, how are we all doing today? You guys having fun? Awesome. Well, my name is Brandon Heisler. I've worked in many industries, in management from food service to warehouse work, retail. Most recently, I was a youth pastor in Southern Indiana for 5 years. My wife and I both have aspirations to do full-time missions work, and by attending the Awesome Inc. boot camp, I've been able to gain a skill that will allow me to work for anyone, anywhere in the world. I chose software development specifically for that reason, and I also plan to develop tools to preach the gospel to young people all over. So my app is called PackMule. My inspiration for this project comes from my incessant need to stay organized. I'm sure a lot of you can understand. I've also worked in many industries where keeping track of an on-hand inventory is an absolute necessity to turn a profit. This app was a point in the direction of developing something that everyone from small business owners to the average person could use. So my goal with this was to create a customizable virtual storage space and then keep items there. I wanted to come at the design from a perspective of easy visualization and item retrieval. Users can create a 3-layer deep storage space with as many divisions as they want and assign items to each division while being able to delete or update the items in the warehouses themselves. I learned a lot during this project about database creation and management and how to get information from the user to a backend storage space efficiently. Next steps for the app will be involving user group sessions and tracking different types of metrics, inventory, outflow, on-hand, stuff like that. So this has been PackMule. Y'all have a great day.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlin Schaefer, and I've been in a lot of roles over the years, from working for a startup to being a barista to managing accounts with an accreditation organization. But most recently, before joining the boot camp, I was pursuing a career in academia with aspirations to be a college professor. But after completing my first master's and getting started on the second one, I realized that a career in academia wasn't really what I wanted for my professional life. And having existed in a lot of roles over the last few years that were software adjacent, I was familiar enough with the field to think that I would enjoy myself as a developer, and it was an easy call to join the boot camp with Awesome Inc. after knowing a few people who had completed it successfully and seeing how connected they were in the local community. Now I would love to tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind my app, which is called GalPal. I've been lucky enough in my adult life to cultivate some really amazing friendships, and I was inspired by all of the women that I call friends. I think that friendships between women are just really special, like being able to catch up with each other after a decade like nothing has changed, or always being willing to celebrate one another. But I was specifically inspired by one of my best friends, Casey, who last year moved from Lexington to pursue her dream and ended up in a small rural mountain town in Colorado, where she was having some trouble meeting new people to make new friends. And I thought if I could give Casey a gift, it would be great friends. So I developed an app specifically for friendships between us girls, utilizing things like interest inventories and customizable profiles to elevate the experience. I wanted this app to be as intuitive as possible and create as few hurdles between joining and getting to the point of making a friend. When a new user registers, they are taken through the process of filling out an interest inventory and creating their profile, and then can get straight to friending. Profiles are displayed in order of overlapping interests, so the first person that you see is the person that has the most shared interests with you. If a user friends a profile that has already friended them, a message channel is immediately created so that the two can immediately start getting to know one another. But I know that people change, so users are always able to update their interest inventory or any of their profile information. And the robust functionality of the app was a lot of work, but I enjoyed getting deeper into the tech stack we had learned. I plan on continuing to iterate over the app, including using WebSockets for messaging, as well as Pandas to create a better matching algorithm. So again, I'm Caitlin Schaefer, this is GalPal, and I look forward to connecting with you all.
Hello, I'm Maddie Carlson. I'm a longtime hobbyist programmer who's been coding since I was a teenager. I got started making small game projects and until now was entirely self-taught. I joined the Awesome Inc. Bootcamp because I wanted to turn my existing talent for coding into an actual career instead of doing manual labor that was hard on my body. So, my app is a fun little one I call Witch Chess. As the name implies, it's a chess app, one you can play over the internet, no less. But it's not an ordinary chess app. Besides being fast-paced blitz chess and having my adorable hand-drawn art, it also has powerful magic spells that can be used instead of normal moves. I was inspired to make this because, as I said before, I've made games in the past, but something I've never really done before was make an online multiplayer game. And that's because it's really hard. Despite that, I wanted to push myself, and I ended up getting it working via WebSockets utilizing Django channels. This was an extra challenge beyond the curriculum that I taught myself. It was the largest programming hurdle I've overcome, and I learned a lot in the process. Now, the app is already in a good state, but I still have a few places I want to go with it. The characters depicted are tied to my current game project, and I wanted to add a little storyline that plays out over each set, changing depending on who wins and loses. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. Anyway, that's all from me. Again, I'm Maddie Carlson, developer of Witch Chess, and if you want to speak to me or want to play my game yourself, feel free to stop by my booth.
Hello, everybody. My name is Neil Sharma. Before joining the boot camp, I was a professional soccer player, a soccer coach, and a business owner. I became a father at the end of 2022, and my son has profoundly changed my perspective on life. I really wish he could be here right now, but unfortunately, it's nap time. He and my family are my motivation for everything I do. The reason I joined the boot camp is because I want to be a good role model to them. For my project, I made an e-commerce store for an upcoming Nepali clothing store called Nepali Threads. This site caters to both users and the owner and his admin staff. The admin can add and update items in the admin page. This page is only visible and accessible to the admin staff. On the shop page, you can browse through items, see pictures, price, description, and can share on Facebook and X. The very professional looking models you see are my family who are here. They're right there. Thank you all so much. You did such a great job. Clicking on the product, you can see more images of that product and you can leave a rating. On the cart page, you can see details of your order, including product, price, and you can change quantity. The cart is fully integrated with Stripe. It supports Apple Pay, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, and more. I did so much testing that my Stripe account has over 250 test transactions. After completing an order, you will get an email receipt thanking you for your business. The company is still in testing, so no real purchases quite yet, but please stay tuned for more. The site is mobile friendly. You can scan the QR code here to get there quickly or visit my booth for a closer look. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you to everyone who made this day awesome.
Okay, so that is the end of the first part of Demo Day. We got to see some really great projects. As we speak, our demoers are walking over to their tables. Hopefully you all could see that these are not just coding projects that we told them to make. These are really passion projects for each of them. And so I hope that you all have a great time looking deeper at what they've created. It looks like they're all set up at their tables, so I will release you all to go and mingle and meet with our demoers. Thanks for coming.